Hi everyone, this is Tisch Aitken, and this is your weekly report. It is Tuesday, April 6, 2021, and we are now fully in Aries season. There are actually firecrackers outside my window while I'm filming this, so the cardinal fire is very potent. And over the weekend, Mercury, which is the planet of information and communication, and thoughts and perspective, changed signs and entered the cardinal fire sign of Aries, where it's now transiting, a lot more lucid than when it's in Pisces. And it'll be transiting in Aries until April 19th. So now we've got Mercury, planet of information and communication. We've got Venus, what you value, what you desire. The Sun, which is ego strength and confidence and identity, Chiron, the wounded healer, and Eris, the goddess of discord, who makes her mark. So with all of this energy, it's very different from a few weeks ago where many people wanted to bury their heads under the covers. It was a really difficult time, and I can say that I felt that way myself. There were at one point 4 planets transiting in the mutable water sign of Pisces. And that can be very good for spiritual retreats and creativity and love and empathy, but it can be very difficult if you're trying to get things done, and whether it's having the inability to focus or feeling directionless or feeling depressed and prone to self-destruction. When a lot of planets are in Pisces, there's a real vulnerability. And there's a very, very potent change of energy now. We have had this since the equinox, but at that time, Venus was still in Pisces, and it was at the final degree of Pisces in the equinox chart. And in my opinion, that pronounces the wounds that we're all reconciling, and we're still definitely dealing with that. But this week, it's like suddenly you really I felt it, I think, by the end of this weekend, a real shift in energy of wanting to get things accomplished, of feeling like it's time to move ahead. And right now, today, Venus is forming a sextile to Mars, and that's really creative and romantic and inspired energy. And then later this week, we're building up to a very powerful moon that occurs on April 11th at 10:31 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And this new moon will occur at 22 degrees and 25 minutes of the cardinal fire sign of Aries. This really pronounces all of the cardinal fire. The other part of that is 22 degrees of the cardinal signs is at the world axis. And the cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Now, you may recall that last year, Saturn and Pluto met up at the world axis at 22 degrees of the cardinal earth sign of Capricorn. And this brought down many structures in our lives and a lot of repair and renovation. And now this new moon directly triggers this and brings us to another story. And many people are making decisions with where they're living, where they're moving, with relationships, with career choices. This is a big time of taking action. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's a time to all cardinal signs help us to move ahead and to catalyze and achieve goals. But Aries is a very enthusiastic fire sign ruled by Mars. So sometimes people might get a little too fiery. And with Mercury in Aries, very different energy than last week when it was transiting in Pisces, which can be very soulful and creative and sensitive. Mercury in Aries can be very blunt, but it's also quick-witted, quick in its action. And right, this is a time where many of us are going to suddenly feel the drive to get things going and get things accomplished. And this is a good time to do so because at this moment, no planets are retrograde. And that's a big deal because we're in cardinal season, Aries season. new beginnings. We no longer have personal planets in Pisces, which, again, I think was very confusing and sensitive energy. In this age of Aquarius, we've been moving and operating at such a rapid pace. And now this will get us going too, but it'll help us to have the energy and the courage and the desire to get it done. And I think that helps a lot. And this new moon is a good time to really consider what the last year has been for you since January 12th. Again, this new moon is at the world axis, so everybody's going to feel it. And anybody that has planets or angles between 20 and 24 degrees of the cardinal signs will feel it very strongly, but we're all going to feel it. And it's a time of major beginnings. But at the same time, let's see, Venus is squaring Pluto in the chart. And I cast the chart for the East Coast for Washington, D.C., and the ascendant is Scorpio rising. Therefore, Pluto is the ruler of the chart, and Venus and Pluto are exactly square, and later that night at 11:20 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, they form an exact square to one another. So just as in the equinox chart, there was a lot of energy around new beginnings. The equinox chart had Aquarius ascendant in the East Coast, and Jupiter, the luckiest planet, was conjunct the ascendant, giving a lot of expansion and opportunity for innovation and community and connection. But Venus was at its final degree in Pisces, also showing the vulnerability that we're all still feeling. And right now in this new moon chart, there's so much enthusiastic cardinal fire, and all of the planets in Aries fall in the fifth house of creativity and joy and love and romance. But again, Venus is in Aries, where it's technically in its detriment because it rules the opposite sign of Libra, and it squares Pluto, which means that there may be things that this week you're eliminating in order to achieve, that maybe there's certain relationships or, ways that you're doing things financially that you may be ending to bring a new beginning altogether. So there is definitely very, very strong manifesting energy with this new moon, but there will be endings over the weekend, I feel. And on Friday, the day before, well, no, on Friday, actually, we have Mars squaring Neptune. And on that date, that's on April 9th, Mercury is going to meet up with Chiron, the wounded healer. And that's a good time for taking assessment of areas that you want to work on, doing healing work. It could bring up some vulnerability. But on the 10th of April, the following day, Venus is in harmony with Jupiter, so that's very promising energy. And Mercury is in harmony with Saturn, and that's good for connecting, for networking, for business, good for romance, good for creative and financial prospects. And then on the following day, we have that very, very powerful new moon at the world axis, hitting that historical conjunction that changed the world. So each of us may get more stories on the world stage of things going on that we've all been dealing with since last year. We may hear of some big endings and definitely major new beginnings in people's lives around us and on the world stage. I would take this energy to really manifest, set intentions. If there's something new you want to launch this weekend, I think either Saturday or Sunday would be phenomenal timing to do so. But also recognizing the fact that Pluto and Venus are at odds. And there's something, again, we're all healing in this process. Pluto is the ruler of the chart. And whether or not you cast it for the East Coast, Venus is definitely squaring Pluto exactly less than an hour after the new moon. So there's a part of it where we, again, need to face situations or things that we need to eliminate that are painful, or things that we've are processing what we experienced in order to move ahead. And this is definitely opportune time to move ahead. So I encourage you to really think of what you want to launch. At the end of the month, Pluto will station retrograde on April 27th, and we'll feel that 5 days before and 5 days after. And that will be very intense, and the ending of the month will be intense. You have a full moon in Scorpio the day before, so a little heaviness at the very end of the month. This is a time to really figure out, even if it's taking micro steps towards your goal. If you want to write a book, if you want to do something new with business, if you want to start your own business, maybe you're reaching out to contacts, maybe you're writing down an outline, maybe you're writing an affirmation or journaling what you want to achieve, just getting it out there in some way. And the new moon is also an excellent time for writing intentions and journaling and for doing the law of abundance. So with the law of abundance, you take a blank check, or you can print one if you don't have a checkbook. Just look it up on the internet, date it for the date of April 11th, and where it says pay to the order of, pay, I can't even think, your full name. Okay, not my name, your full name. You can make it to me, that's okay. Then you, where you would normally print the dollar amount, print paid in full. And at the bottom of the check, where you would normally sign your name, print the law of abundance. So this is an excellent energy to do this, because a very powerful new moon of what you want to achieve. Aries is about self and focusing on new beginnings. So what do you really want to bring in? Venus is conjunct the new moon, and Venus, the new moon itself also squares Pluto. So there is an intensity with it, but we're letting go of the past as we move ahead in a very futuristic time in the age of Aquarius. And the new moon also trines Juno, which is an asteroid regarding partnering. So this is a time to partner with others that are on the same vibration and the same wavelength. So I wish you all a lot of luck and take care. Thanks.